Have you allowed God to search your heart today? Peace and all blessings to you, my dear friends. This is Sister Mayan Molina of the Daughters of St. Paul for today's Gospel Power.
Now when the Pharisees and some of the scribes who had come from Jerusalem gathered around him, they noticed that some of his disciples were eating with defiled hands, that is, without washing them. For the Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat unless they thoroughly wash their hands, thus observing the tradition of the elders. And they do not eat anything from the market unless they wash it. And there are also many other traditions that they observe, the washing of cups, pots, and bronze kettles. So the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, "Why do your disciples not live according to the tradition of the elders, but eat with defiled hands?" He said to them, "Isaiah prophesied rightly about you hypocrites, as it is written, 'This people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching human precepts as doctrines. You abandon the commandments of God and hold to human tradition.'" Then he said to them, "You have a fine way of rejecting the commandments of God in order to keep your tradition. For Moses said, 'Honor your father and your mother,' and whoever speaks evil of father or mother must surely die. But you say that if anyone tells to father or mother, 'Whatever support you might have had from me is korban,' that is, an offering to God, then you no longer permit doing anything for father or mother, thus making void the word of God through your tradition that you have had handed on. And you do many things like this."
In today's Gospel, Jesus responds to the Pharisees and scribes with an eye-opener, an attempt to break through the hardness of their hearts. He tells them that their meticulous cleansing ritual, which they wish to impose on Jesus' disciples, is an example of how the essence of God's command has been buried in the elaborate interpretation of it by their elders. Now, they uphold the human interpretation more than the original divine command. Thus, God's essential call to purity of the heart, which is to be manifested in life-nourishing relationships, is practically silenced and ignored as the interpretation shifts to external acts of purification. Friends, such ceremonial washings do satisfy the ego's need to feel special and set apart from those who are unclean and contaminated. But these do not respond to God's call to purity of the heart. So let us allow God to search our heart today and renew it from within.
Lord, help us to be mindful of how we relate to others in sincerity of heart, more than trying to impress them with external looks and gestures. Amen.